Have you ever worked with a manager who checks in with you, asks how you are doing, and even nods in the right places, but somehow you still feel very disconnected from them? Like they are there, but not really there. It's a subtle gap that leaves conversations feeling incomplete. Imagine a manager who's mastered the art of asking questions but hasn't mastered the art of connecting emotionally. They had the awareness to check in, they had the sensibility to ask you about your well-being, but their mind, it's somewhere else. It's caught up in tasks, goals, and their own internal world. And here's the twist, it's not just a workplace issue. This happens in personal relationships all the time. You know the kind where a partner asks, "How was your day?" But it feels very mechanical, like they're just ticking a box. They are present but emotionally absent. You talk, but it feels like you're talking to a wall. And the cause of this, it's not always a lack of care. Sometimes it's about emotional capacity also. They might be feeling overwhelmed, they might be stuck in their own thoughts, or maybe they could also be unsure as to how to step into vulnerability. Other times, it could just be about comfort zones. Being logical and task focused feels safer than diving into emotional waters. But here's the real danger. When leaders or partners stay in this space, they create relationships that are functional but very fragile. Conversations are very transactional. The trust weakens over a period of time and the connection fades away. People start to feel unseen, unheard, and undervalued. Not because the other person doesn't care, but because they don't know how to show emotional affection. So how can somebody bridge this gap? Well, first, pause and be present. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. When someone shares something, don't just listen for facts, listen for feelings. Notice their tone, their expressions, their emotions behind their words. And secondly, mirror their emotions, not just words. So if someone says, "It's been a tough week," don't just respond with, "Oh yeah, that must be really tough." Instead, try saying, "Yeah, it sounds very exhausting. How are you holding up?" And when you do this, you're not just hearing words, but you are connecting with them. Thirdly, get comfortable with silence. Sometimes the best connections happen when you are not rushing in to fill the gap. Let emotions surface. Let people feel safe enough to share more with you. And finally, share your own emotional world with them. Vulnerability invites vulnerability. When you show real emotions, other people feel safer to do the same. Because here's the truth, being physically present but emotionally absent is like showing up to a celebration and standing right in the corner. You are technically there, but you are not in it. Connection requires a lot more than just physical presence. It requires empathy, and it requires a genuine willingness to be with someone. So are you asking the right questions, or are you truly connecting? That's the question you need to answer. And if you are experiencing this in a relationship, whether it's at work or in personal life, tell me, how does it feel? What are some of the traits and characteristics of a leader, a colleague, or a partner that often bother you, where you know that they're trying to connect with you, but they actually don't have the emotional bandwidth and capacity? And share your thoughts in the comment down below. And if this message struck a chord with you, like and share it with someone who needs this reminder. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon.